Today we're talking about how to keep that motivation going. How's it going, guys? Dr. Tank Farm D here, board certified practicing pharmacist and personal health coach, helping action takers like you take back control of their lives and emotional health. And although I am a practicing medicine specialist, I'm not your specialist. So if you have any questions regarding your condition, please see your doctor. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. It gets you the latest updates on the newest videos. Let's get into it. Motivation is like a shot of NOS to our engine. We're just chugging along and boom, that thing hits. The adrenaline rushes, our heartbeat races, our eyes widen and our chest rises. We feel absolutely invincible. Unfortunately, the rush of adrenaline does not last. This motivation doesn't keep going forever. Just like the shot of NOS to the car, there's a limit to how much you can put in the engine before the engine explodes. There's a limit to how much adrenaline you can take in your body before you get anxiety, heart palpitations, and high blood pressure. So the question is, how do you stay motivated without burning out? We see people do awesome things, and every once in a while we think, hell, maybe I could do it too. The question is, how do these people keep motivated? How do these people keep going when they're low on motivation?
No ideas. Useless, empty brain.
How does someone like Elon Musk just keep powering on? As a comic nerd growing up, I always wanted the superhero physique. Shout out to X-Men and Batman of the 90s. Superheroes were an ideal for me. Not only were they inspirational, but their bodies were in amazing shape. Sure, it was fiction, but it was an ideal that you could work to, and that's what I wanted. I couldn't figure out how to work out consistently because I lost motivation after a while. Motivation is an emotional push. According to Webster's dictionary, motivation is the act or process of giving someone a reason for doing something. This definition tells us what motivation is, but it doesn't tell us how to maintain it. In order to figure that out, we have to figure out what we're doing normally and where it goes wrong. Let's say there's somebody you hadn't seen in a long time, and when you finally meet them again, they lost 20 pounds and look amazing, hardly recognizable. You probably think to yourself, you know what, they were bigger than I was and they lost all that weight, and they look amazing. Hell, I could do that. So you know what, you make a resolution. You're gonna change your life. You're gonna start eating healthier and you're gonna lose your weight. You feel motivated the first few days. You work out every day, you eat healthy and everything. But after a while, you start losing that motivation. You get discouraged. There are obstacles in the way. There are things you need to address that you haven't thought about yet. And you know what happens? You stop. And when it stops, it doesn't come back. You might feel motivated one day, a couple months later to work out. But that's about it. Your motivation has almost entirely been gone. We first have to address the mental issues with motivation. The first one being that we depend on others to motivate us. When you depend on someone else to motivate you, there's no consistency in it. You don't know whether they're gonna motivate you now, later, maybe never. That reliance on someone else gives them permission to motivate you. So you lose your ability and your power to do so. The next issue with motivation is you don't see a long-term purpose. You might have a goal of losing weight, for example, but you don't see the long-term purpose. So if you don't reach that goal and don't make tiny changes to reach it, you see it as a failure. Losing weight is not a linear loss. You might lose a little bit of water weight, but you might also gain muscle weight. So you have to kind of evaluate it based on how you look, not on the actual weight amount. So seeing the goal itself is good, but you have to see the long-term purpose in it. The next mental issue with motivation is that you don't remove the obstacles in the way. There are always going to be obstacles in life. For example, scheduling conflicts, things you have to do, errands you have to run. The important thing is you have to address what takes priority. Once you figure that out, your priorities become clear and all the obstacles that are in the way get cleared out of the way. The next mental issue with motivation is that it's an all or nothing battle sometimes. When we get motivated, we have a burst of energy, so we want to do everything we possibly can. In that short energy burst, we do everything we can to reach our goal. But the problem is, once we run out of that energy, we don't do anything towards our goal. And finally, another mental issue with motivation is that we don't build a habit. We get motivated and we do the thing that we really want to do, but once the motivation's gone, we haven't built a discipline around it. So when you get motivated, What can you do? Well, a lot of the good advice tells you to just get started. It's better to get started than it is to just sit still. Next thing you want to do is find your purpose. Why do you want to do this? Sure, you have a goal, but what is the ultimate purpose for that goal? The next thing you want to keep in mind is to do anything you can towards that goal. Tiny steps are better than no steps at all. Tiny steps get you progress towards your goal. And finally, when you get motivated, you want to make sure you build a habit. That habit helps develop the discipline for you to keep going. A habit helps you keep going regardless of what's in the way because you feel that natural urge to do it. A habit helps you build the discipline you need regardless of motivation. But the most important thing of all to deal with your motivation and keep it long lasting is to make sure you use that motivational energy to get rid of all the obstacles in the way. The problem with our motivation is that we move whenever we're motivated and stop when we're not. So if you get motivated to work out,
you're gonna do the sprint of working out.
And then when you're not motivated,
you don't do anything.
The way around that is to use your motivational energy to eliminate the obstacles in the way. You want to also find ways to motivate yourself. So whenever you're motivated to work out or be healthy, find words or pictures or videos or images that actually project to yourself the energy you need to be motivated. Like, what quotes do you say to yourself that get you motivated? What images do you see that get you motivated? Save those and keep them around for when you feel unmotivated. You could look at those, read them, and feel yourself be motivated. You also want to make sure you eliminate obstacles that are in the way. Let's say on Sunday morning, you feel motivated because it's a fresh week. Use that energy to pre-pack meals instead of having to deal with cooking during the week. Use that energy to prep up your clothes that you need and get them ready. Use that energy to prepare all the things that you need to have ready right after work so that you can work out right away. What people make the mistake of doing is when they have that energy during the beginning of the week, they'll work out instead of prepping for the week. This preparation allows you to have the energy you need to do the tasks you need instead of worrying about your motivation. So there you have it, guys. How to keep your motivation going. What keeps your motivation going? Let me know in the comments below. If you're struggling with your emotions and want the tools to help you take back control of them, check out the Emotional RX program in the link below. And if you want to know the most important thing that's controlling your anger and sadness, check out the free ebook in the link below. If this video has been helpful to you, please send it to a friend and share it with them. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and until next time, guys, be healthy.